Ah! I'm angry! Ah!
We're scared to be lonely.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another CPearceRide motovlog. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit more serious that affected me this week. So this isn't going to be, you know, a funny story or anything like that. It's going to be about the whole Equifax breach that happened. I take care of all the financial things going on with, you know, my family, my wife and I. You know, I take care of paying all the bills and making sure that, you know, there's a roof over our head and we've got food on the table. You know, that's my job. And I've got a really good system for managing our finances. And I pretty much track everything on my own and then double check it, reconcile against, you know, what's in the online banking. I think it was Wednesday night. I typically go through and reconcile on a daily basis. I log in Wednesday night and I see a check for $3.95 that had been processed and had cleared my bank. Now, I take care of paying all the bills and stuff. I know what's going in and what's going out at all times. I don't remember writing a check for $3.95. So the nice thing about my bank is you can click on the check and it'll show you a copy, an image of said check. And it immediately threw up red flags for me, and I knew that it was, you know, it was not legitimate, it was a scam. You know, for example, it had only my wife's name on it. All of our checks, all of our current checks have both my name and her name. And furthermore, it had her maiden name on it. It didn't have, you know, our last name. Second of all, it had an address that she hasn't lived at for like over 7 years. So red flag number 2. Red flag number 3, the check number. It was 3 digits. It was check 161. All of our checks are 4 digits. And I guess the fourth thing that kind of threw me for a loop was that it was electronically generated. Like, it wasn't handwritten or anything like that. So 4 red flags that told me that this probably is not a legitimate check or charge. Yet they had our account number at the bottom of the check and they had our routing number. Now, it was only for $3.95, which a lot of you might be thinking, well, that's not a big deal. It's only $4, you know? But no, it's the principle of the matter. I did not write a check for $3.95. Now, the company that this check was written out to was Ecom Marketing. And in the memo of the check, they had a 1-800 number. Well, instead of calling the phone number and asking, you know, WTF, bruh, I decided let's Google Ecom Marketing, which I do. And there are countless message boards and threads and websites talking about how this company either withdraws $3.95 or $49.95 from people's accounts via check 161. It's the same check number every time. So I immediately know, somehow, some way, this company got our bank information. What's scary about it is they try to withdraw a small amount of money to see if, you know, the check gets blocked. And if it doesn't get blocked, they're just going to go in and clean house. They're going to take everything that they possibly can out of that account. I mean, that is what I read about online. So first thing the next day, I have my wife call the bank, you know, put a stop on that check, investigate it, that whole deal. But it brings into question the Equifax breach I mentioned earlier. And I have no way of proving whether or not this is a result of that breach. But the timing is very questionable. So, you know, my wife and I are in the process of, oh my, look at that. Nice car, man.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
My wife and I are in the process of opening up a new account, getting new checks, getting new bank cards. I've got to update all of our utilities, our direct deposit, you know, all these different things. It's a big pain in the rumpus. So I wanted to quickly talk about this Equifax hack, breach, whatever you want to call it. I'll have some links to a few websites if you're not familiar with what's going on, so you can read up more about it. I'm sure that those articles will be able to explain things in better detail than what I can, you know, tell you. But it's very important that you keep an eye on your checking account, your savings accounts, you know, your credit. You're going to want to get a credit report like monthly now. This breach affects an estimated 143 million people. That is a lot of people. That's scary. And the people who were able to steal all of this information, you know, it's likely going to get sold to the highest bidder. And what can happen is, you know, they have your social security number, they've got your address, they've got all the information about you. They can easily go out and sign up for credit cards, get auto loans, get all sorts of different, you know, open up credit in your name, max it out, and you're on the hook to pay it all back. I mean, that can seriously ruin financial lives. I mean, the way that I feel about it. Like, what's your recourse? How do you resolve something like that? So again, it's imperative that you keep an eye on your bank accounts, keep an eye on your credit score, make sure there's no fraudulent, you know, credit cards and auto loans and, you know, what have you being opened up in your name. The sooner you find out, the faster you can get these things resolved. Because the last thing you want is to get something in the mail saying, hey, you owe us X amount of money. I mean, that's just scary. The point of this video is just to kind of put out there what's happened, what you should do. You know, it can happen to anybody. I think the only potential silver lining is that they stole so much information that you're a tiny drop in a massive ocean of people's information. But again, that's not something that you really want to play a game with. So the point of this video is just to share some of the information that I know, some of the things that that I think you might want to start doing a little bit more often if you aren't already. Again, I might be an extreme case, but I check things on a daily basis. Please, please, please make sure you're checking your bank accounts and your credit scores, because I'd hate to see people taking advantage of like this. Oh, related to this, here's something really stupid. So Equifax has a webpage that you can go to if you want to find out if your information was potentially stolen. You can go to this website, you can enter in not your last 4 digits, but your last 6 digits of your social security number and your last name, and they will tell you whether they think your information was part of the data set that had been breached. Like, are you kidding me? You're the same company that already lost all of my information. You're gonna ask me to put that much information into your website that clearly has already been breached once. Yeah, let's help them connect the dots even more. That makes a whole lot of sense. Oh my gosh. I'm an IT guy. I'm not a security specialist when it comes to IT, but man, I'll tell you what. Hackers, if they want to get your information, I mean, they can get it. It's a push-pull game. And from an IT security perspective, from a cyber security perspective, You just need to put as many walls up as you possibly can. I hope everybody took something from this video. You know, at least understanding that you need to be vigilant. Thank you all for listening and I guess listening to me rant. Again, I'm pretty pissed off. This entire situation sucks. I'm glad I caught it early. Again, I'm not entirely convinced that this is related to the Equifax hack, but the timing certainly makes it seem like it. But anyways, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Give me a sub for future content. Ooh, I like this turn. If you're interested in buying one of these Reservoir socks, handmade, crocheted, I've got all the information, all the details down in the description below. Now do me a favor, share this video with your friends, your family, everybody you know. Share the video. Let's get the word out. You need to be vigilant with your information, you know, and early detection is the best thing you got going for you. And with that, get you in the next one. Later.